Hello, my convicts and convicts, the designer of Convict, bringing you guys and gals a video. And I said I would do a follow-up on the Asus video, Asus router here, the AX82U, as you can see here, what it's called, the Asus DSL AX82U. So today I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it. I've just done a video, obviously doing read comments and obviously the improvement that this router has had. And I've just done a speed test not long ago. You can see what my connection is. I'm getting 3770, 523, 25 ping, just over 25 ping, and 0.08 jitter, which is absolutely insane. Not something I would oftenly get. I would normally get much higher connections like this one here, 31, 30, and what have you, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's definitely improved. So there's a couple of things I've changed in here. There is one I did regarding regedit. What I'll do, I'll link that video in the description below if you want to follow along with that one. If you do have any issues following along with that video, then just delete the ones that I tell you to create in the D-word 32 on there. Raph will know what this is. Other people will know it's through regedit, and it basically you go into the registry and then you have to change and add some D-word 32s, and it'll actually change certain things regarding your connection. You need to reboot after you've done it, and then obviously it should help improve. I can't guarantee, obviously, everything I'm going to do today is going to make a difference to your connection because it's on a connection by connection base. Not all connections are the same. Obviously, we all live in different areas, have different connections, different boards and stuff that we're connected to. So I can only suggest is try. If not, then you can revert back to the usual. Obviously, the one being obviously one that you would probably potentially want to use is obviously a router like this, which is the AX82U. Now, just let you know, I am not sponsored, affiliated with Asus in any sort of way. So I'm not giving you a quote-unquote script or anything from them or anything like that. I bought this myself with my own money. It costs over £200 this thing. It's very expensive, but it will replace any other routers in your house. If you've got like a BT home hub or anything, something where you've had to have another modem router connected to like a NetDuma like I used to do before, which I haven't connected yet. So I might do a little router on router action and see if the NetDuma works well with this router. So keep an eye out for that video as well coming up soon. So yeah, this basically replaces everything. You connect to your VDSL line to this router, and this router connects to your PC. So it's one router to rule them all, basically. No other routers, just this one. That's it. Nothing else needs to be connected. All connects to this router and then straight to your PC. Simple as that. So you've seen the test there. The QoS side of this, I have actually settled for adaptive QoS at the moment. That's what I'm using right now. The reason why I'm using adaptive QoS is for a few reasons. First of all, adaptive QoS is using like an AI algorithm in order to give you the best quality of service. So that's always a good thing. Also, you get an automatic setting you can see underneath here. This basically what it means, it's streaming the connection at all times. So the router itself is constantly testing your connection over a period of time. And it will go up and down depending on how you download and upload speed. So you never have to change your speeds. You download and upload speed, it does it for you, and it will balance depending on the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, or when your internet changes, when more people are online. It will actually bring your connection down or go up depending on where it is, and it will keep on testing that for you all through the day. So never ever do you have to keep on going, okay, what's up with my speed, or what's up with my connection, let me check. Okay, my speed's gone down, let me change it now, blah blah blah. Or you trying to set it below a certain threshold, knowing that, well, I'm getting lower speeds than what I should be, but at least I know from morning, afternoon, and evening, I should have more or less this connection sort of thing. So you're kind of crippling your connection just to make sure it stays the same throughout the whole entire day. This has AI, so it'll just follow your connection and do it for you, which is really cool. Also below here, you can choose a mode. You can choose between games, media streaming, web surfing, learning from home, speak English, work from home, or customize, where you can actually put them into areas and just say, okay, I want this here, I want this here, so on and so forth. Like that. And you could choose and then just click save at the bottom to save it. Oh, gone off it. Also here, this is cool. This is bandwidth monitor. This will monitor where your connections are connected to. So you can click here and it'll show you all the things that's running. So you can see I'm getting a bit of bandwidth from this SSL TLS. And it'll show up and it'll actually show you populating what's using bandwidth. So you can see exactly on your network what is using bandwidth at all times, which is really, really cool. And you can just double click it and it'll go back into obviously this. You can also drag priority as well. So you want that as highest, this is lowest. Just do it like that and make sure to apply at the end and it'll do that as well. Also tell you what your speeds are, what's been using. So if you're doing an upload and you think, am I actually uploading with full speed? This will actually tell you if you're doing so, which I've found out. Obviously sometimes it's been 0.92 and I'm like, why am I uploading at such a slow speed? Which is what helped me out to fix my connection sort of thing. You can also change the scale as well if you want to do that. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. If you put it onto traditional, you do lose the ability to have the AI. I wish it could do the AI feature but with traditional. So I might try and pass this on to Asus, see if they'll add this. So you basically have your connection tested by AI, but you can set your own traditional upload and download speeds. And then you've got bandwidth limiter where you can limit a certain target if you click on here. Which I'm not going to do because it shows IP addresses. So go back to adaptive, and that's what I'm using for now, and games. And obviously just click apply to make sure it's on there. You can also see up the top here that it's connected adaptive QoS for games. So, you know. Also, if you go here to game, if you have this on anything other than adaptive, this will actually turn off. This can prioritize your game devices for best gaming experience. So you kind of want adaptive on because you get this feature as well, which is why you can see the controller up here. So you definitely want that on. You want adaptive on, not the traditional. If you're having major problems, you could try traditional, but just know you don't get a benefit from this if you do. And also port forwarding as well. This, I believe, stays on, but I'm not sure if it's traditional or adaptive. Again, you have to kind of play test with that a little bit. Just see if it's on or off. I think it stays on, but I don't know if this is turned off, if that will give you feature access to that as well if you're using traditional or bandwidth limit. So yeah, another thing here, which I can go and click on administrative and then go over here to DSL. This is what I've currently got everything set up as a moment. This is kind of what I've settled on for now. For the modulation, obviously I'm on a VDSL. You choose whatever your modulation is, or you can leave it as automatic if you're not sure, and it'll automatically sync up for you. SRA, I've got this disabled. BitSwap, I've got this enabled. G.INP is on no at the DSLAM, so I have it to disabled because it's not using it anyway. And then this is on the highest negative I could possibly set it to, which is -6. I have tried it on disabled and right at the top, and I've just found that -D6 seems to be the best, or giving me the best margin. So I definitely recommend putting it on minus and the highest minus you can. Test it. If it doesn't work for you, go, up a couple until you obviously get to a point where it's good. So yeah. These I leave alone. I don't touch them. I did try putting this to 17A, which mine is 17A, but it seems to have a weird effect on the profile. So leave it as multi-mode and then just make sure to click apply for the thing. And that's all I did on that one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to link in a video below regarding some stuff on something else I did, which is called Registry Editor. I've done a video on this where I actually went in and I went to certain places on here and I actually changed a few things in order to basically improve. I've seen someone who went in and said that if you do certain things you can change it. And I wanted to kind of do it myself as well. So I went to certain things on here and changed some policies. One's under Landman server is where you would start. Down here, Landman server, and then go to parameters. And I put this size rec buff, and then there's IRP stack size. These ones have been added by going to new, adding a D word 32, and then changing them. And all I've basically done is clicked in them under hexadecimal, changed it to 32, and then put OK, and then size rec buff, put in there, and then put OK, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through it entirely because it will take too long in this video, and it'll be long enough as it is. But we'll link the description where I did the video. Just follow along with that if you want to try it. All you need to do, if you have any problems, and for instance you feel like it's making your connection worse, all you need to do to fix it is go to the ones that I've done, go to it, delete it, and then reboot your computer after you've deleted all the ones. So once you've added them all, you need to reboot at the end. If you want to get rid of them all, go to them, right click, delete, and then reboot, and it'll go back to normal. So yeah, so if you want to try them, put them on, reboot your computer after you've done, see how you go. If it's worse, go to them, delete them, and it will return to normal after the reboot, after you've deleted all the ones that I've told you to put in. Again, I'll link that video in the description so you can get to it if you want to try it out. I know Raf said it didn't work for him as good, so just try it. If you don't think it's any good, then by all means you can delete them if you wish to. So there you go. So that's all I did, and that has helped my connection to be really, really good. And I'm now getting an insanely good ping for my connection. Generally, I only get about 30, maybe higher. I'm now on 25 ping. It could be a placebo. Maybe they're just doing work and they've freed up some line. Maybe more people have transferred to fiber, or getting transferred to fiber, or being transferred to a different line, and I'm just getting better ping because of that. But it definitely seems to have made an impression, and getting 25 ping seems to be working. So I definitely recommend having a look into that. So there you go. That's the AX82U. So I'm going to finish this video off just giving you my thoughts and feelings on this router, and whether or not I think it's worth buying or not, or worth investing in or looking into on this router. So, do I think it has improved anything? Yes, I definitely feel like it's improved on things. It's definitely made connection better. It's made things run smoother. It has been a lot better since having this router on. The fact that I don't have to have another modem router running from the beginning, which was only on 100 megabit and didn't even have 5G on that one, which is a Zeexel. I did upgrade the Zeexel to an older one, to a new one, but that kept on failing or doing weird stuff, and I ended up breaking it in the end because I got so frustrated with it. And then obviously waited for a long time and bought this one, and it's been godsend. It's absolutely, definitely a godsend. So again, it's the Asus DSL AX82U. If you're on VDSL connection like me, make sure you buy this specific one. Make sure it does work for DSL, because apparently there's 2 versions of this and the other one doesn't. One does. So just make sure you've got the DSL one. I think the other one's just called an Asus AX82U. I think it's the one that doesn't have a DSL in it. So make sure if you're buying it, it has DSL in it. So yeah, just be aware of that. On there. The QoS has been really good. I think the QoS is kind of a little bit half and half. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but then again, my connection isn't amazing, so it could be that's causing problems. It does work very, very well, but there is some times where I just feel like it's not working as good as what it could do. I've tried traditional, but trying to figure out where to put each of the areas in, which I can show you now, is really awkward. I find it a bit of a hassle. So you basically come here, or I can't, I'd have to click apply. We'll click apply. Hold on. I need to turn this bottom one off. Right. Click apply, and then once it's done, I'll show you what I mean. But basically with traditional, you have to set some parameters, and I'm still not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do. I've even watched a video from Asus themselves, and they've given me certain things to put in, but I've not had a good experience when I've tried playing Call of Duty with it. Now, it could just be Call of Duty itself, but I just didn't have a good enough experience. So it was kind of odd. It didn't feel good as I wanted it to. So, yeah. Plus, it takes a while like this to apply it, so we have to wait for this to run. Nearly there. Come on. This is probably one of the biggest problems about waiting for it, because it does drop your connection. If I just pull myself a bit higher, you can see underneath my connection had dropped. It was here. It was a globe. It's now gone back because obviously it's nearly completed. But I was on a globe connection, so it disconnected me from the internet while it's applying this. I might as well have a drink of coffee while I'm waiting. Okay, let me just do this. Hold on. Not sure if there's anything specific there. So you go back to QoS, and now what will happen now on traditional, you get this config up here that you wouldn't have seen before, and you can click on use QoS rules and user defined priorities. Can I actually show this? No, I can't really. So I'll describe it from here. So basically, when you get traditional QoS, then thank you. So when you get this part of it, you've got a couple of areas that you get. You get QoS rules and priorities. So under QoS rules, it gives you services. You get source IP, destination protocol, transferred, and then priority. And you can set different priorities. You can set how many kilobits you want. So you can go from like 0 to 512. You can choose a protocol like TCP, UDP, and all that. You can put port destinations into like 3074 for Call of Duty. And then it gives you your IP. And then obviously you could choose the service name. And then you get to choose what priority you want it to be, like highest or lowest. Then you've got another one which is define priorities. What are you doing, router? Oh, mate, my computer's just, I don't know. It was just having a bit of a dicky fit. Right, can we do that again? Thank you. And then you go here to priorities. I don't think it shows anything, does it not? No, it doesn't show anything. That's good. We can pull this one back over. This one's okay. And then you got this one where you get different speeds here that you could change. And it says here the default AXIN and ICM packets are used to improve the game's smoothness. So you want ICMP, you want SYN and ACK to be ticked at all times because it improves game smoothness. From what I've read in forums, they've always said keep the download bandwidth set to 100%. And you can see from 0 to 39.06. So that's like the max speed. Obviously my max speed might be a bit different now. Then you can reserve the upload. This is the one that they say mainly to change. And this is from Asus themselves. They said put highest to 100, high to 80 to 100, medium to 60 to 100, low to 40 to 100, and lowest to 20 to 95. But when I've run tests, it's not really helped as such. I will probably try testing it again. But it just didn't seem to really do as good a job as adaptive in some cases. But I will keep on testing. If I find anything different, I'll let you know. But yeah, I didn't find this too much of a difference. And then the other one, like I said, the other one you just set which priority is. You put in the TCP, so you can set like certain priorities for certain TCP. So if you like play Call of Duty and you want to just have the port as high priority 3074, you can do that and then put it under your computer IP address, and then it'll prioritize that port as well. So you can prioritize ports individually and what have you. But I just feel like the adaptive is really, really good. And if you go here to game, you notice it auto switches it off. If I put this on and try to apply, it will then turn adaptive back on. So you can't have this on while you've got traditional at all. You've got to have adaptive to use prioritizing your game devices for the best gaming experience. You need to have adaptive on for this to work. So just know you either have one or the other. And I prefer, obviously, the adaptive one to be on there as well. And then just make sure you go to open NAT and then set in, obviously, search for your game, set in the NAT, and then obviously that'll help. Again, I can't really show because it shows off IPs and stuff and things like that. Anyway, so yeah. The router itself has been really, really good. I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun to use. It does work. It has been improving connections, definitely. I've managed to obviously change certain things. The fact that you get access to certain features that you wouldn't normally, like I said, from here when you go down to admin and then you go to the DSL and being able to change these has been really, really good. If any other routers could do that, that'd be amazing. Being able to physically change from your end things that go to the DSLAM, and even the idea of me being able to go on here and physically being able to go to system log. I don't think it shows anything, but I'll just quickly pull it over here. DSL log, being able to actually tell you what the driver version is, what the link state is, obviously how long. These are just obviously general, but the fact that it can tell you what your modulation type is, what your region mode is, what your board is actually called at the DSLAM at the exchange, which is from Lantic, the current profile, vectoring state. So you can see things that are in the box down the street, or for me, about 5 kilometers away, and being able to see what it's doing, and seeing what my path mode is, and what the data rate is, what the max data rate is. All these different things that you can see, the line attenuation, the signal attenuation, the signal margin, and stuff like that. Really, really interesting to be able to see this, so you can see what you're getting from that board to your home and from your home to that. So you can see if there's any issues here that you can then go to them and say, look, this is the problem. Can you fix this? So on and so forth. I just wish you had more option to changing certain things, like line attenuation. I'd like to see if we could change that, and path mode, and have it both tried interleaved. Because apparently fast path is better than interleaved, but I'm, for some reason, on interleave for download and fast path for upload. I've always thought my upload was my main offender, so I'd really like the option to be able to change fast path to interleaved and see how they both go, and then obviously change them both to fast path and see how that goes. But again, I'd have to somehow get to OpenReach to do that, because they don't do that. They just take from what the provider says, and then when speak to provider, it just goes over the head. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So problems I've had with this router, the negative side. One of the negatives, obviously, setting up at the beginning. Setting this router up at the beginning was very, very awkward. You've got to put in certain things. That made it kind of difficult to get it up and running. So when you first come up and you do the quick internet setup guide, it's not really that good. You do it, it'll set up, but it'll still not work. And what I had to do is I had to go into the setting, which I can't really show you. But as you go further down, it's called 806. Or something weird like that, and I had to put 0 and then 101. So you'll need to make sure you put in whatever yours is. It won't be 0 and 101 for you. It might be different, but you have to put that in on here, which is one of the things that you have to know how to do. So you have to do a little bit of digging into your router settings. So if you do change over, make sure you take some pictures of the settings that you've got in your router. So then you can copy them over onto here, just in case it doesn't pull them over automatically by itself. Otherwise, you'll not be able to access the internet. So getting on, it took me about 20 minutes to get it working properly, actually getting it working. And even then, after that, I did those videos and then said, oh, I need to configure a few things because it doesn't seem to be working as it should be, when I was obviously getting worse connection. and then I fixed it, and then obviously it's now fine. So just be aware, if you buy this router, you do need to take pictures of your other router settings and try and transfer them over, like the email address, password that you would connect if you're on PPPoE, and then the 802.q, whatever it's called, put 0 and 101 for mine, whatever yours is. So just make sure you make a note of that. You even have to turn it on because it is set to no, and I had to put it to yes. I also had to put it as DSL as well because I am on VDSL. So yeah, there's a few things you do need to change over because there's either ADSL or DSL you have to choose, or there's WAN you have to choose between the few on there to get it up and running. So just be aware, you have to do a little bit of tinkering. I've not had this happen as of late, but I did have some weird issues happen with connection. Now, I don't know if it's because I was just continuously tinkering and it was messing up the connection or anything like that, because every time you see as you apply an update, it does down the connection and re-upload the connection, because that was about 6 hours. Now it's gone down to 10 minutes because it's obviously reset the whole router and everything. I was having a problem where my download speed was going to virtually 0 and Wi-Fi was having problems. We're having problems where the phones were just buffering all the time. It's only happened very rarely, twice, and not like in the same portion. It was like a good couple of weeks, and then or whatever, or a week or so, and then after that was maybe a few weeks down, and then again happened. But it wasn't something that happened within a short space of time. First of all, it did mobiles, then it was doing it to my PC later on, and I don't know what was causing the issue, but literally all you have to do to fix it is just reboot the router. Just go to what it says here, reboot, and then reboot the router, and it fixed that problem, and then it stopped doing it. But I don't know what was causing, and the only way I could kind of keep testing to see if it was happening is by going to the adaptive QoS and then going to the internet speed and running a test here. I've just noticed my download speed. I'll see if, do I have one? Can I show you what it was doing? I don't think I've got one. Not on there, but I might have it on speed test. Oh no, I definitely had it on one of them. Oops. Result history. Here we go. This was on the 7th of I don't think it's that one. It was kind of like this. I was getting like weird pings. Sometimes I was getting like like super weird, like 301 ping like this one, and then getting weird download speeds, and then my upload speed was acting weird, and sometimes I was getting like 0.6 or something weird like that, and getting like 600 odd 265 848 ping like this kind of thing. And I was like, what the hell's going on with my connection? And I was constantly buffering and stuff, and uploads were just taking forever and stuff, and trying to download anything was taking like days instead of saying like 30 minutes or an hour or so. It was like days. It was saying in the next 6 days this will be downloaded. It's like, what? So that was another issue with this router. Again, I don't know what was causing it, but by rebooting it just fixed it. So if I have that problem again, I'll let you know, but it's only ever done it twice in the whole time that I've had it. And like I said, once I'd rebooted, it never did it again. So it could have been me just tinkering and causing issues rather than it just being an issue of the router itself. But yeah, it was just weird that it was doing it, and it did it twice. One to mobiles, and then other time it was doing it to my actual connection, and I had to kind of figure out what was happening, and then I just reboot, and it seemed to fix that problem. But yeah, it's only done it very, very rarely, and it's not done it since, and it's not done it like all day or anything. It's just been an intermittent thing that's only happened 2 times in the whole time that I've had this router. So that is another thing you just need to watch out just in case. But like I said, I've not really had any problems or issues from that since, and it's been fine. So it's just something I may have changed and updated, and it's caused that problem. So other than that, nothing really else that is bad on here. Everything seems really good. The AI part of it is really, really cool. AI protection is really, really cool. If you come here to AI protection, it'll tell you how to prevent certain features. Like this feature prevents infected devices from being enslaved by botnets or zombie attacks, which might steal your personal information. So I've got that turned on. This one is for two-way intrusion prevention system. Protects any device connected to the network from spam or DDoS. And then you've got malicious sites blocking. Router security assessment. Scan your router. Here it says there's 2 risks, but that's generally it's the port forwarding ones that it seems to pick up on. As you can see here, port forwarding, and then UPnP, universal plug and play. Now these I do use. I don't see them being a problem or anything like that, but you can obviously go with this and turn them off if you want. But just know that then in games you're gonna have a weird issue. So for now, I'm just gonna leave them as is. I'm quite happy with them being there. You can also add a alert preference and get it to send you like a text message or an email if any of these. As you can see here, malicious sites blocking. There was actually 10 attacks, and it's protected against these 10 attacks. So it's really, really cool on that one. Can I click on that protection to tell me what it was with? Ah, it does. And if you have an issue or you know there's a threat, you can actually go here and find out where the attack was. So there's been 2 attacks on my phone, which is my current phone now, and there's been 8 attacks on the Samsung Galaxy S9, which is the one that Rio uses for YouTube and that. So even gives you like destination, so you can click, go to micro website to check more information. So you've got www.app.shop, whatever that is, and then obviously on here. So I need to double check these. Now I do have Kaspersky on my phone, so I don't have any issues with attacks, but I'll have to double check on this phone, on Rio's other phone. He only uses it for YouTube, and I keep a very close eye to what he uses on YouTube on there. But you can come here. This is another good reason to obviously have this, to keep yourself safe. You can click on here and it'll give you an idea what this is. There you go. Scores are assigned based on factors such as website age, the historical location changes, and indication of suspicious activities discovered through malware behavior analysis. We've advanced how we apply web reputation to keep pace with new types of criminal attacks that can come and go very quickly, or try to stay hidden, sort of thing. So you can come here and you can type in a URL and you can check it. So I'll link this in the description as well. If you've got any sites you want to ever check and you're not sure on, come here to this and it'll actually help you to go and check certain things. So if we use this one as an example, check. So this one, it says it's untested. And because I was curious with this URL, Trend Micro will now check it for the first time. Thanks for mentioning it. So if you ever come in here as well, it's really cool because these can actually help you by checking, and then it'll check that now for the first time because it's untested. So this might not be an actual problem. I know Rio downloads a lot of games from his phone. Again, I have a lot of restrictions on what he can download and stuff. But he does like certain like moving games and stuff where you swipe left and right to make the person move left and right. He likes the playing games as well where you move him around and shoot stuff. And he'll only watch YouTube because everything else is disabled. He is not able to touch anything else apart from YouTube and certain videos as well, because I have parental thing on there. And then obviously apps he can download, but he can't download any you have to pay for. can only download free ones. He would buy everything. I don't even have any bank details, anything set on that phone. I completely reset the whole phone so he can't download anything he's not supposed to on there as well. And now he's keeping an eye on it. So yeah, so that one is coming up as unclassified. It's not been checked. And then you've got this one, which hasn't been checked apparently. Oh, it times out. It just times out and then brings you to this. Let me copy that. And then paste it. So, this one has been classed as dangerous. The latest tests indicate that this URL contains malicious software or phishing. So, just be aware that that is a thing. Okay? If you ever see a site that has this in, don't go on it. Don't use it. I don't know how I've used it then on my phone. 1450. I do have, like I said, Kaspersky on my phone, so I'm not too worried about it because I do have Kaspersky on here, and I do have it so it won't allow people to check details or copy details or anything like that. I'll show you. You can see, got Kaspersky here on my phone. And it's just scanned. It says here, look. Good news. We found no threats. Look. And now we've got another thing. Antivirus database contains description of malware and information. Help you neutralize it. Update every night if the device has enough battery charge. Yeah, why not? Update your Wi-Fi. Why not? I don't mind. There you go. And that's why it shows you. It shows you like this. I use this on both my PC and on the computer because it really does help keep your devices safe. So yeah, I've not had any issues, anything like that, and I do have things, so I'm not particularly worried about this anyway. But as you can see, it does protect your computer as well. So it's really cool that it's got these protection features on there as well. Another good reason for this router. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here because I'm now been blabbering on for what, 37 minutes. But there you go. This is the AX82U. I would give it definitely, I would give it a 8.5 out of 10. The reason why I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10 is it's a really good router. It does everything you want. It's just, it just doesn't have all the features I would like it. I would like if the AI option for adaptive, especially for the constantly checking your internet connection, changing the speed, to be available on all of them. So it's available on adaptive, it's available on traditional, and on the bandwidth limit. So it's changing itself. It knows obviously what you're doing, because I think it should be across all board. The game option to be also available again across all boards, traditional and on the other one as well. So that can give you extra help on there. Maybe make the quick setup a little bit easier for people, because I know a lot of people, I've seen some people comment on Amazon, because that's where I bought mine from. I bought it under the 5 monthly installment thing, which I'm still paying for at the moment. A lot of people have said that because they couldn't get it to work, they just sent it back. So people are having problems with it auto connecting. So that could do with being a thing as well. Another thing I'd like to see them do is, we're under the administration, the DSL had this for not only just download, but for upload as well. At the moment, I only have access for stuff that will change download. It won't actually affect upload. I would like more of these features for the upload side of it as well, so I could change some features on the upload side as well, which would be really, really cool, because at the moment, it doesn't do that. You just get a chance to change on the download side. and not on this side. Because as you can see here for the SNR margin, I changed this. This is what I'm changing. And this I can't change. And I wish I could change this as well. I know I probably can't change this. This is probably something that I'd have to do. But I would like to have a little bit more access to the upstream as well as downstream. So if they could add a feature to allow downstream changes and upstream for the same thing like I've done obviously on the admin side, which is the SRA, the bit swap, the G.INP, stability adjustment, especially this one for the upload, the annex mode, and then VDSL profile. If they could add this so this affects upload or give us an option to have two options for download and upload, that would definitely make this more or less a 10. So because this has definitely made a difference. Well, like I said, because it's only affecting download, it's not really affecting upload. My upload is my offender, but obviously the stability adjustment has helped. Just it'd be nice if it would affect upload as well, or if I could make some changes to upload as well to obviously help out with certain features on there. Apart from that, nothing else really. I enjoy everything else. All the other features are really cool. The Wi-Fi is really cool. Wi-Fi 6. You even get a really in-depth version of Wi-Fi 6 that even I don't know how to do, where you can actually go in, I think it's on the network tools, or wireless, but there's an actual one where you can actually do a whole lot of stuff like this on your Wi-Fi. It's insane. And I look at it and I'm like, I ain't got a clue. I'd have to watch a video just to get through it. But I like that kind of tech kind of side of it, because it at least then gives me options to make some really significant tweaks to it, not tweets, but tweaks to obviously make it better and improve it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's my end ruling, 8.5 out of 10. I definitely really like the router. It's very good. I definitely recommend it to anyone who, if you want to obviously replace your home hub or anything like that, it really does help. Just be aware that you do need to take some photographs of all your settings in your router, otherwise you will struggle if you're not quite technical minded. I'm quite technical minded, and it even took me about 15-20 minutes to eventually get it up and running as such, and then just a bit longer just to make sure it was ironed out. But eventually it does iron itself out pretty easy, and away you go. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Maybe even consider joining. It's $1.99, gives you access to emotes, badges, as well as giveaways, and hopefully some charity work in the future if we get enough people who join. If you think any of that is good, please consider tapping that $1.99 join button, and appreciate you all. Salute to Raf GT Sport and others who have joined and obviously hit that $1.99. Appreciate you all. Please continue to support the channel. Thank you very much for your patronage and for continuing to support the channel in all things Kappa related. Salute to you and thank you. Keep staying elite. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Anyway, it is Convict signing out. Salute to you all. And yeah, bye for now.